Hello, welcome to your full moon reading for the 27th to the 28th of October 2023. I felt this need to come in and do a reading. I haven't done a reading for a while. So this reading is a general reading. It's for light workers, those on their spiritual journey, those of you doing your heart work, trying to make a difference in the world and spread your light to as many people as you can. That's for you. So those of you watching, thank you for joining us. Thank you for your support. If you'd like to, please click the subscribe button, hit the like button, whatever it is that you got to do, just so that this can reach more people. This is not a paid channel. I don't get any money for doing the work that I do. Spreading the word just helps me reach more people. And then if people wish to book individual readings with me, they're welcome to. But just a note that I do not approach you for readings. I do not ask you for money. I only take bookings directly to me. So you feel free to visit my website if you wish to learn more about what I'm doing, www.claireems.me, or Instagram and Facebook. I'm Claire_intuition. Let's get started on the reading, see what's coming through for us today. Well, for our full moon that's coming up. So while I'm shuffling, I'd just like to bring in awareness to the spiritual realm and the spiritual beings that work with us constantly, and are always guiding us and always bringing us messages. This is just one way to connect and to receive guidance, but there are many other ways. And something I like to encourage everyone that watches my videos, or everybody that comes to me for readings or coaching or anything, is that it's your journey, and you can find the best way to communicate with spirit, to receive your own guidance, just to connect and feel closer to the spiritual realm in whatever way that works for you. I've also felt, before I get into the cards, that the more we do it, the easier it gets. So if you find yourself not trusting, if you find yourself going into your logical thinking, saying, this isn't true, this isn't real, it's just in my head, giving yourself that time every day, if you can, to connect is what increases the connection. It increases the trust. The more I read, the more accurate it gets. The more I read, the more things change and shift, and that ripple effect happens in my life. So it's something I always want to share because it's so important to me. First thing coming up, great card, Queen of Wands. I'm going to show all the cards and then I'll tell you what's coming through. We've got Page of Swords, Strength card, one of my favorite cards, and the World, which is also a great card. Okay, so we start off with the Queen of Wands. That came up first. I feel like at this time, many of us are feeling more comfortable in our, I don't want to say label, that's not the right word, more comfortable in ourselves, in our position, in our, maybe your purpose, maybe your plan, your direction. We kind of have an idea of where we're going, even if we're not there yet. I don't know if there is a there. I feel like we never get there. We're always on a journey, but we get closer and closer to reaching our fullest potential. And I feel like that's what this card is saying. There's a black cat at the bottom here. And I mean, superstition will say that black cats are unlucky. I feel like the black cat on this card is bringing about more of a message of companionship. But here's the thing, companionship with self. So almost like the shadow self, things in us that we don't normally, or that we aren't always aware of, or things in us that we don't want to acknowledge or accept within ourselves. And there's many ways to do shadow work. So if it's something that's calling you, or something that you keep hearing about and you haven't done it before, I'd say Google it, look it up, see how you can do some simple shadow work. It sounds, my opinion, it sounds scarier than it is, or it sounds more drastic than it is. And it can take you really deep into yourself, and it can take you to places that are a challenge to work with, but it can also be simple. So yeah, I'm going to leave that with you. Please excuse the dogs barking in the background. If I pause every time they bark, then I don't get the readings done. So I just let it be part of the reading. Okay, then we have our Eight of Wands. I always have to count because the Roman numerals, I'm like, oh yeah, Eight of Wands, V1118. So the Eight of Wands to me is, it's like a message of trying lots of different things. Like, and like if you look, you'll see the wands are different lengths. So you've got longer and then you've got the short one, but all of them have got leaves. So there's growth in each area. And what I wanted to talk about there is that sometimes our human conditioning or our childhood conditioning teaches us this lesson that we've got to find our thing that we're good at and we've got to do that. And we've got to see it through, and we're not allowed to quit, and we're not allowed to give up. I've had this message multiple times. It's coming up for me recently that once we've completed a cycle of something, we're allowed to move on and try something else, or we can do multiple things at once. But I feel like what the message here is, even if you're doing multiple things, make sure that you're doing them for the right reasons. So if you're feeling burnt out, overwhelmed, overworked, probably not the best idea. But if you're finding fulfillment in all of those things, then great, keep going, keep doing it. Don't let anybody else tell you what you should and shouldn't do. So if you're trying something new, like let's say, even if you're older, like in your later years, nearing retirement, or you've already retired, and people are saying like, or even just the voice in your head, it's like, well, I can't start something new. You know how many people come to me when I do readings and they say, it's too late now. It's too late. I can't start something new now. Why not? You most definitely can start something new. Okay, let's carry on. The next card we have is the Page of Swords. The word that comes to me here is confidence. I feel like for a really long time, a lot of us were living in a what's the word? Living in a way that we were living for other people. That's the kind of the way I want to say it, like living for other people and not realizing that we were living for other people. So if somebody had asked you, are you making decisions for somebody else? You would have said, no. And I've done that. No, this is what I want to do. But so programmed to please others or to live up to expectations that we didn't always realize or don't always realize that we're doing it. And I feel like there have been many cycles, specifically over the last, let's say 2-3 weeks, where maybe you had some really challenging situations, or you were put into, I want to say like a pressure cooker with people. So either like a conflict or a discomfort of some kind where you weren't sure what was going to happen. And then you came out of it and you were maybe like, and maybe you weren't, and maybe this is somewhere that you're heading to for this full moon, where you can say like, hang on, that person's got nothing to do with what I'm doing. Or the way that I was thinking about it is so different now. Why was I allowing that person to have so much power over my decision or my situation or whatever it is? And I myself have been through that, and I can feel there's a need for release over this full moon. So if you are feeling that need to cut cords or to energetically just clear your space a little bit, your self, your energy, there's some super simple ways to do it. You find what works for you, but you can even write down all the things you want to release and burn it. You can speak it out loud into the universe, ready to, because our words have so much power when they're coupled with the feeling and the heart that believes them. So yeah, just releasing what we need to release in whatever way we need to release it. The next one is the Strength card. Now, for me, the beauty of the Strength card is that she's with the lion. I mean, the lion is a dangerous animal, and she has created like a companionship with this lion. And I feel like it's in this reading particularly, it's saying that it's time, or you have already connected more deeply with your strengths. And so the lion is thought to be dangerous and to be avoided. Let's put it that way. So it's almost back to this shadow self of the first card. There are parts of us that we have been told are not good, So maybe you've been told you're too assertive, you're too loud, you're too whatever it is. Now is the time to say, maybe I am that, and that's okay. Maybe I'm opinionated. That's okay. Maybe there's a reason that I am. And it always comes back to the intention behind it. Why am I doing it? Am I being loud to gain other people's approval? Or am I living in my truth, and loudness is a way that I'm expressing myself? You know, like, there's no judgment either. It's what works for you, but it's an acknowledgement of the person that you are. And the last one out of these 5 is the World card. So the World card, for me, the word that comes up is just abundance. There is so much out there for us as light workers and people who are doing the healing work and the spiritual work and working with others to help them shift their perspectives, that I want to say there's strengths in us and other light workers that we can use together. So collaborating with people that we trust and being really, I don't want to say cautious in who we collaborate with, but listening to our own self. When you meet a person, you feel it, you know, this is, if there's an ounce of doubt, if there's that little niggly doubt, you just wait. Like, there's no rush to get into collaborations with people, friendships with people, relationships with people. Wherever you're sitting, I feel like it's a call to connect more to you, to relate more to you, to, instead of worrying about how you can help others, how can you help you? How can you sit with you for a while to just do some of that inner work? And how do we find that inner work? Personally, I just lean into what is. So what's happening around me in this moment? How can I work with it? What feelings are coming up for me today? How can I work with it? And often, and I've said this in my readings before, my only answer is just to sit and to feel. When I feel myself reaching for the phone to ask somebody else what they think I should do, or like Googling, oh, what should I do in this situation? No, I stop. This is about me. This is my journey. What am I going to do? And I take a step back and I just sit and feel. And I welcome in angels, guides, whatever it is that I'm needing at the time to work with in order to help me figure out what the lesson is going to be. So something I wanted to bring up, I posted it last week as well. If people want to, I was asking a poll on Instagram, if people want to know more about like connecting with their angels, connecting with their guides. My message here, and to me, it's also such a big message to spread to people. Connecting with our angels and guides can be as simple as connecting with another person. Sometimes I almost want to say simpler, because they are always there when we need them. And they're always open to receiving and to giving. It's a very different dynamic to the support we get in this lifetime. Can be different. Sometimes we can get that support. But what I mean is they are ever present. They know your journey more deeply than other people will. And I think what I'm realizing is that if more of us did that, and more of us connected to spirit and connected to our guides and our angels, the more we would start to see bigger shifts in our world. And I feel like more of us are doing that, even if we don't know that we're doing it. But yeah, but it's all beside the point. I'm just, the message I'm trying to say is, if you want to connect to your angels and guides and it's something you're interested in, you can start today simply by talking to them. Like, you can close your eyes, you can leave your eyes open, you can sit in a quiet place somewhere and just ask your angels to guide you, and just trust that they will. You might not feel or hear or see anything right away or ever, but it doesn't matter. But the more you work with them, the more they will work with you, or the more they will show themselves to you. Because the more we trust, the more they are able to come into our lives. I feel like I've gone on about it a lot because it's so important to me, because it has helped me a massive amount to get to where I am today, just by connecting to spirit. So I will leave it there. Okay, I'm going to go on to the next card deck, which is the Kyle Gray cards. And I love Kyle Gray cards. This is in no way a paid promotion, but he has a new deck that has just come out that I'm very keen to get. If you are interested in angel cards, go and check it out. I can't remember what it's called, but if you Google Kyle Gray cards, you'll see the new ones that have come out. or follow him on Instagram or somewhere. I love his cards and I love his booklets. It just has for me, it's very spot on the way that it's explained. It's really nice. Okay, whoopsie daisy. Let's see what's coming up on the cards today. I'm going to do 3 of these ones. Sorry, 4. Okay. So let's have a look. We have transformation. We have sacred plan. We have cut the cords, which I just mentioned just now, and we have learning experience. Some of these cards have come up for me this week already, which is always good confirmation that it's happening in my life and it's happening in many of our lives, similar themes. So the first one, transformation, speaks for itself, but let's talk about it a little bit. This is a time of, and when I say transformation, for me, it means a remembering. It's not like becoming different to it is becoming different to what I have been, but it's finding more of the true self within, finding more of who I'm supposed to be away from what I thought I should be. So again, it's those expectations. I feel like there's more here. I feel like it's speaking to our physical bodies as well. So a belief in a transformation around the way that we look and appear to others. And it doesn't have to be, society's view of what is beautiful, but it's finding the beauty in ourselves and emitting it. I don't know what the word is, but like shining it brightly. Being like, this is me. I love who I am. I love how I look. I love how I feel in my body. And finding ways to feel good in your body is so important to your whole system, like our energetic body, our spiritual body, our physical body. It's all so interconnected, and we often look at things in like pockets. Like my physical body is not doing so well, but spiritually I'm really connected. Yeah, but your physical body needs to be healthy and happy, and in terms of everything. Like I had some liver hormone stuff happening and it affected the way that I was reading. So the universe just knew I wasn't getting people in for readings. A lot of my work was slowing down, and it was really necessary because my body was like working slower. And when I made a couple of changes, dietary, exercise, there were a few things I had to change, which all came through in readings. I sat and I did meditations, and I got like the messages that I needed. And it was really good confirmation that, yes, there's the medical profession and there's the medical world out there, but there is information that's available to you right now from spirit. Yeah. So anyway, so long story short, the more we clear our physical body, our energetic body also benefits. Okay, sacred plan. Even if it does, and I've said this before, even if it doesn't feel like things are going the way they need to, there is such a sacred plan being woven. If you just look at the way this is moving, there is a flow to the way that things work. So even when we are feeling low, even when things are really challenging, the only words I can say is that it's preparing us to rise. We can't just rise out of nowhere. You kind of need the ashes to rise. So, and it is quite a cliche, but I've felt it in my own life, and I'm sure you have too, where you come out of the challenge and you rise up higher. Okay, so the next one is cut the cords. I posted something about cutting cords just this week. The first time I learned about cutting energetic cords, I did like a visualization. I called in Archangel Michael, who protects us and keeps us safe, to help cut energetic cords between me and people that I felt I was not meant to be connected to anymore. Okay, but my understanding of it has grown. When I first did it, I thought it was like magic. Like, I've cut the cord now. I don't have to deal with that person anymore. But for me personally, it didn't work out that way, because the inner work still needed to be done. So the intention was there, but it didn't happen immediately. I set the intention to cut that cord, but that person and I were still connected because there was stuff I had not dealt with or resolved or healed. So if you are finding that you are connected energetically to a person, and you'll know what I mean by hearing that. So it's somebody in your life that it's like you think about them often. They either trigger you in a positive or negative way, where it's like, so on the one side, it could be they make you feel better about yourself, so you want to keep being around them, but you know it's not good for you. Or they make you feel really bad about yourself, but you want to be around them to change that so you can feel better about yourself, but you know it's not good for you. It's now is the time to cut that cord, come back to self. Instead of saying, how can I get that person to approve of me? How can I approve of myself? Where is this inner work that needs to be done? And it all comes down to acknowledging and becoming aware of the feelings within us that come up. So it's triggering this positive feeling. Why do I need that feeling? Where is it coming from? And it's not up here that we do the work, because our logical brain, as much as we can say, oh, my mom didn't do this when I was 5, and that's valuable. It's got its place, but it's feeling. It's our energetic body, our physical body. If you look into somatics, if you're interested in doing more of the feeling work, there's a lot of people on like Instagram you can follow that are showing you somatic moves, somatic practices to feel. Because we can logically decide, I don't need this person anymore. I'm going to be my biggest fan. But if we haven't healed the blocked trauma, like the feeling, the stuff that gets stuck within our physical, energetic body, it will keep coming back. And you can keep logically saying, oh, no, I don't really feel, but we need to do the deeper healing. And the last one, learning experience. It ties up everything else that we've been talking about. If you have been going through some difficult things, or you've been going through some, even like the positive, like I said, if you're going through something where you're connected to someone positively, but you need that person in order to feel good about you, there's learning there. And if you even just open yourself up to receiving the lessons, you may already know what they are. That's great. Make a note about them, write them down, write yourself a letter and say, remember all these things we've learned, so you can go back to it. Or if you don't know what the lessons are, put it out there. Ask your angels or your guides to come in and help you figure out what the lessons are. And it will come to you maybe in ways that you never expect. You'll see a post online and go, oh, that's what I need to learn. Or like this week, my mom said to me, I just heard the word gaslighting. She found it like somewhere in like a magazine or something, and she'd never heard the word. It's like, how have you not heard that word? I thought it was like a thing that everybody speaks about. But anyway, all of that being said, it's like, you find the things you need. She may have heard it and just it never went, bing, I want to know about that, until your body is ready and your energetic self is ready to go, I'm ready to learn that. Okay, so those were your cards for today. I hope that this full moon is a wonderful opportunity for you to, I want to say, release things that have not been serving you in order for you to rise higher. But if that's not what it's feeling for you, I hope you get out of it what you are needing. I wish you a really blessed day, and I look forward to seeing you at the next reading that I do. Bye for now.